who, again, they're kind of like Buddha living in a palace. They're so spoiled. Their life is just, I have a niece. I probably shouldn't bring her up. I have a niece who's 19 years old, and she's the most shallow, plastic human being that ever lived. There's not a profound thought or genuine sentiment in her entire body, because she is just the most spoiled, petty, child that ever lived, right? And then I have students as well, though, who I think from the time they were children have grown up in very, very difficult circumstances. And they know the exact opposite. Their life is not completely pleasure. Instead, it's almost completely suffering. Yeah, I have a lot of students who've been born into bad circumstances, tough home lives, don't really have parents looking out for them, they're surrounded by violence, bad neighborhoods, bad schools, have drugs and alcohol temptations at all times. These are people who know about suffering from the very beginning, right? And so what he's trying to do is he's trying to find a middle ground. So what he's trying to figure out is this. Hey, write it down. How do we live without suffering? How do we live without suffering? Okay? How do you do that middle ground there? Well, it's not all pleasure and it's an illusion, but it's not all suffering at all times either. How do you live without suffering? To him, that is the central question of life. How do you live without suffering? It's a good question, don't you guys think? How can we live lives of meaning and purpose without constantly suffering? It's a good question. To me, it's probably the question of life. Okay, any questions? Don't you want to know the answer? I was waiting for you guys to say, well, what's the answer? You guys want to know? Oh, wait! I think you guys up to the top of the mountain and you're like, okay. Okay, no problem. Wow. What? Actually, there are a lot of answers to that, all right? You have the Platonic answer, you have the Christian answer, you have the Buddhist answer, you have the atheist answer, you have the Darwinian answer. There are answers. But, what? Yeah, but that doesn't mean that somebody's belief doesn't necessarily become the right belief. Don't become so relativistic that you think that everybody's belief is equally valid. So you have the Buddha, that's what I'm trying to teach you, the Buddhist belief. Okay, so here's which is a very different answer than the Platonist or the Christian or, So here is Buddha's answer. After 48 days, if he meditates, okay, and we're gonna practice this, okay? 48 days. That's 48 days straight. No bathroom break. Okay, not like meditating and meaning of life. I gotta do it. It's not like that. Okay, and have you guys ever heard of this? This is what they do. It's called the Om. You guys have never heard of this? There is something kind of metaphysical about it that when you get very quiet and very relaxed, I don't want you to actually meditate, but I want you to, while I say if you guys be a little louder and a little bit more into it, let's try to get a little bit more, take the calm, but firm. Okay, here we go. Ready? Everybody, nobody's too cool for this. Not too cool. Here we go. See, there's something kind of spiritually relaxing about it. Okay, you guys giggle, but if you do that for about an hour, you'll be... after an hour, you're saying, no, Michelle, I want to go home. Okay. Man, summer is pleasant here. Some chill vacation. Okay, so here's what happens. After 48 days of oming and meditating, he finally figures it out. Okay? Figures out how to live life without suffering. And when he stands up, are you guys listening to this? When he stands up, he's answered the question of life. When he stands up, he has become the Buddha. And the Buddha means the enlightened one. because he has achieved nirvana. That is the goal. That is the big enchilada goal of Buddhism, is to achieve nirvana. Now, nirvana is very different than Christian salvation, and it's way different than Hindu moksha. Remember anything? Okay? And so here's what happens. He's achieved nirvana, he finally figured it out. Okay? So here we go. Here's the answer to life and death. And there's something I think very wise and very insightful about it. That's why a lot of people are Buddhists. Okay? He comes up with something called the Four Noble Truths. Okay? The Four Noble Truths. And the Four Noble Truths are these. Okay? There's 5 of them. Okay. There are 4 noble truths.